Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining today's webinar, Amplifying Performance with Objective and Key Results, OKRs. Today we are going to dive into the power of OKRs and how they can help your team stay focused, aligned, and high performing. This framework has transformed how some of the world's most successful organizations operate, and I'm excited to share insight on how you can leverage OKRs to amplify your team's impact and achieve ambitious goals. Throughout this section, we will explore practical strategies to set effective objectives, measure meaningful key results, and ensure your team remains engaged and motivated to reach them. Before we begin, here's a bit about myself. I'm M.DAMALIE, an experienced project manager and DevOps coach with over a decade in the industry, specializing in agile methodologies and performance optimization frameworks like OKRs. I've had the privilege of working with cross-functional teams, leading them to consistently exceed performance goals while staying adaptive in a dynamic environment. I'm a certified PMP, and I have a passion for helping organizations unlock their full potential through clear alignment and a purposeful execution. I'm excited to share my knowledge on OKRs with you all today and hopefully help you take your team's performance to the next level. So what's on tonight's agenda? We're going to be looking at what are these things called OKRs anyway, and what do effective OKRs look like, and critiquing OKRs and OKRs environment and implementation tips. So a short history of OKRs. So let's start with origin at Intel with Andy Grove. And so OKRs begin with Andy Grove, one of the Intel's first employees and respectable leader in Silicon Valley. As Intel president, chairman, and CEO, he was focused on maximizing productivity and aligning the company's efforts towards impactful results. So Grove observed that there are so many people working so hard and achieving so little, and this realization led him to develop the OKR system to ensure that effort was consistent, directed towards meaningful goals. He emphasized clear communication and encouraged his team to make mistakes faster, fostering a culture of quick learning and adaptation as well. And then we also have John Doerr, and a young engineer at Intel in the 1970s, was introduced to OKRs during his time working with Andy Grove. And later, Doerr became a successful venture capitalized and invested in many pioneer tech companies, including Compaq, Nasdaq, Sun Microsystems, Amazon, and Google. Now, let's take a look at OKR in Google. In 1919, Doerr invested in Google, and a young startup led by Larry Page and Sergey Brin. Page and Brin sought Doerr's advice on how to run the company, and he introduced them to OKRs as a way to set a clear objective, measure result, and align their efforts as they scale. So the question is, why don't you try OKRs? Marked the beginning of Google's adaptation of the framework, which becomes integral to its growth and success. So this brief history shows how OKRs evolved from a simple retractive tool at Intel to a strategic framework adopted by so many of the most innovative companies in tech. So let's take a look at some of the companies that uses OKR. So as you can see, we have Google, Amazon, Slack, Intuit, HP, X or Twitter, and we also have Microsoft, Indeed, LinkedIn, Yahoo, and we also have some of the organizations that uses them, Accenture, Asana, Beidou, Boss, and so on. Now let's take a look at 2019 Toyota sales versus 2019 Ferrari sales. Based on this data, who makes the better car? Pause the video and answer these questions, and let's come back again. All right, welcome back. So Toyota sold almost 10 million units in 2019, while Ferrari sold 10,000 units. At first glance, Toyota's number may seem to indicate that they are the better car manufacturer because they sold significantly more vehicles. However, the day's data leads to an important question. What does better really mean? when assessing performance, context really matters. So Toyota's goal is to produce reliable, affordable cars for a broad market, aiming for high volume sales. Ferrari, on the other hand, focus on luxury, exclusivity, and high performance, catering to a niche market where quality and brand prestige matter more than quantity. So the key takeaway here is that metrics alone don't tell the whole story. In some way, when using OKRs, it's essential to set metrics that align with your organization's specific goal and value. What better means depends on your objective, quantity, quality, reach, or exclusivity, and choosing the right key results to measure what truly matters is very important in this context. So let's talk about output and outcome. So output represent the work we have done, and this could be number of tasks completed, reports generated, or products delivered. The focus on quantity and activities such as we produced 10,000 units or we completed 20 tasks. Output are about measuring what we expect to complete or produce. Outcome, on the other hand, measure the value or impact that the output has had. This focusing on whether the work delivered meaningful benefit or solved the real problem. An outcome indicates that the stakeholder has received value and need has been met, or the impact of the work has been realized. For example, instead of just saying we delivered a report, an outcome-oriented approach will look at whether the report led to better decision making or improved process. So the key takeaway here is when setting a goal, especially with OKR, it's important to focus on not only on output, the work itself, but also the outcome, the real world impact of the work. And this mindset shift helps teams deliver meaningful results rather than just completing tasks for the sake of completion. Now let's look at a powerful clean question. So question is, let's say we empower people and when X happens, then what happens? We release value to stakeholders sooner. And then another one is we will say implementation of service now. So the immediate result here will be when we resolve customer incident more quickly. And the deeper question will be, and when we resolve incident more quickly, then what happens? And potential outcome will be we improve customer satisfaction and retention, leading to stronger and brand loyalty and reduce churn. And we also empower people. So immediate result will be we release value to stakeholders sooner, and deeper question will be, and when we release value sooner, then what happens? And potential outcome will be stakeholders trust us more and become more invested in our projects, fostering a collaborative environment. And then another question will be become agile, and immediate result will be our solution met the needs more often. And the deeper question will be, and when our solution met needs more often, then what happens? And potential outcome will be we become known for delivering high quality relevant solution which attracts more clients and partners. So these are some of powerful clean questions that we can ask when we are setting our OKRs as well. Now let's take a look at what are OKRs. So OKRs are focused, iterative, and learning-based framework for handling outcomes. They drive execution, foster ambition, and promote alignment and agility in teams. So this is the definition of OKR. So let's start with focus. So focus here, OKR helps teams stay focused on their most important goals, cutting through the noise of daily tasks and alignment and aligning effort towards impactful outcomes. And it's also iterative in nature, meaning that OKRs are set and reviewed in cycle, often quarterly, allowing teams to continuously refine and adjust their goals based on progress, feedback, and changing priority. And also it's a learning-based approach, meaning that OKRs framework ensures and encouraging learning and adaptation. Teams reflect on what worked, what didn't, and adjust their approach to improve continuously. And also outcomes is very important. Outcomes oriented, unlike traditional goal setting, they may focus on completion tasks. OKRs are geared towards achieving outcomes that provide real value. So let's take a look at some of the benefits of using OKRs. We have execution. OKRs driven teams take consistent actionable steps towards their goal and promoting culture of execution. And also ambition. They encourage setting challenging, ambitious goals that push teams beyond the status quo. We also have alignment. By clarifying priorities, OKRs ensure that everyone in the team organization is aligned and working towards the same objective. And we also have agility. The iterative nature of OKRs helps teams stay agile, quickly adapting to new information, challenges, or opportunities. And a key takeaway here is OKRs are not just a tool for setting goals, but a structured approach that fosters alignment, agility, and ambitions within teams and enabling them to achieve meaningful and measurable outcome. Now, let's take a look at the OKR formula. The formula is I will, and we will have an objective, and as measured by key results. So let's say what are the objectives? These are inspirational or ambitious goal you want to achieve. The objective should be qualitative, meaning it describes what you aim to accomplish in a way that motivates and adds significant value. And an objective should be clear and compelling, should be giving the team or individual direction to strive towards. And an example will be improve customer satisfaction or become a leader in digital transformation. And key result here is measurable outcomes that indicate progress towards achieving the objective. They are quantitative, meaning they can be tracked and verified. When all key results are achieved, it means the objective has been accomplished. Key results should be specific, time-bound, and ambitions yet achievable. An example will be increase customer satisfaction score by 20% or achieve a 30% improvement in response time. So as you can see, this formula keeps things simple yet powerful by clearly stating what you want to achieve, which is the objective, and what you will measure, success, which is the key result. And this approach ensures that we have clarity and focus, and we have alignment, and it helps with motivation as well. Now let's take a look at an example. Let's take an example number one, which will be an engineering. So we'll have our objective as measured by key results, this which is our formula. So objective will be make high speed come between F and mass a reality by 2023. So key results here will be mass and F bandwidth capable of 1 gigabyte or at 150 million kilometers, and full day to miles coverage at, then we can define the location, and all existing Mars surface probes connected at a high speed to Earth. So this is an example of a good way of setting OKRs geared towards maybe an engineering field. And let's take another example in the sales industry. So we can say our objective will be a significantly increase recurring revenue from DE market, and key results will be monthly recurring revenue of 250K and average subscription size grown to at least 395 euros per month, and subscription churn increased by percentage and reduced to less than 1% per month. So these are some of the ways that we can set some key results in the sales industry, and this example shows how each key result directs support to objective by setting specific measurable key result related to revenue, subscription size, churn rate. The team has clear targets that when met will collectively achieve the objective of increasing revenue from the DE market. And this approach helps the sales team stay focused on high impact actions that contribute directly to the business goal as well. So let's take another example, will be the infrastructure team. So the infrastructure team, another example will be achieve record network platform uptime during year 2020, and key results will be monthly average network uptime greater than 99 99.9, which is 4 minutes, or 8 months 75% with an average network uptime of 99.999 or higher, or 10 service outages prevented. So key question here is if we achieve the key result, or we have we made the objective, and the answer is yes, we have met the objective. This example shows how well defined key results supports the objective of record uptime by setting specific measurable target for uptime percentage and the number of outages also prevented as well. Now let's take a look at the traditional approach. And for the traditional approach, first we have the organization's objective as set, and then as at the start of the cycle, the organization establishes its overcharging goals, typically at the beginning of the year, and these goals are often strategic and long-term. And after that, we have the objective are being cascade, and these organization goals are then broken down and passed down through different levels of the organization. So each department, let's say HR or sale or team, has aligned objective. This cascading process is meant to ensure that everyone is working towards the larger organization and vision. So HR is working towards it, marketing is working towards it, and let's say IT, infrastructure, everyone is working towards that vision. And we have performance is evaluated. And then, as you can see, at the end of every 12-month cycle of the year, the organization reviews whether this objective were achieved. And this typically involves assessing each department or individual's performance against the set objective as well. And the key question here is, did we or did you achieve everything 100% of what you plan? So in this traditional approach, success is often measured by how closely an individual or team meet predefined goals, and these are heavy emphasis on achieving 100% of the set objective, focusing on more on completion rather than learning or adaptability. So let's take a look at some of the limitations of the traditional approach. It's rigid and long cycle. You know, a 12-month cycle can be too long for today's fast-paced environment, making it challenging to adapt to changes. And it's also focused on completion over learning. This approach values completion, plan tasks, or over adjusting objective based on new information or shifting priorities. And it's also lack of iterative feedback. With performance evaluated only annually, there's limited opportunity for ongoing feedback, making it difficult to make timely adjustments. So takeaway here is, while this traditional approach provides structure, it may lack flexibility required in dynamic environments. So in contrast with frameworks like OKRs, it allows for iterative progress review and focus on both outcomes and adaptability, making them more suitable for agile organizations. Now let's take a look at this code. We should make the web as fast as flipping through a magazine. And this was a code by Larry Page and Sergey Brin in 2008. So, you know, key point here is vision for speed and user experience. So this code reflects Google's commitment to making the internet experience fast and seamless, aiming for browsing experience that feels as natural, effortless as flipping through a magazine. It captures a user-centric approach where speed is seen not just as a technical goal, but as a core part of enhancing user satisfaction. So setting ambitious objective, this vision set a stage for ambitious objective at Google, where projects like developing the Chrome browser, enhancing web protocol, optimizing search engine performance, all aligned with making the web faster. So this code embodies the principle of aiming high, pursuing as an aspirational goal that challenges teams to innovate and push the boundaries of what's possible. And influence on modern web standards. So this focus on speed led to advancement in web technology and infrastructure, including faster internet protocol like HTTP and HTTP2 or Quick, and improvement in browser performance, and initiative like AMP, Accelerated Mobile Pages, to load content instantly. So takeaway from this code is it reminds us of how ambitious objectives drive real innovation, and when setting objective and key result, it's valuable to think beyond immediate limitations and set goals that inspire teams to create breakthrough solutions. This kinds of vision can shape the entire industry and transform the way users interact with technology. So let's take a look at the key results from Chrome users. So Chrome reaches 2 million and 7-day active users. So as you can see in 29, key result is Chrome reaches 50 million 7-day active user. And then let's take a look at 2010, Chrome reaches almost 111 million and 7-day active users. And as you can see, the graph from 2018, using OKRs, the result is just up and up and up and up. So these are some of the ways where Google was able to use OKRs to scale. Now let's take a look at some SMART objectives. So as a certain OKR, we have to use the acronym SMART, which is specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time bound. So let's take a look at specific, measurable, and time bound. So OKR must be specific. That means objectives should be clear and detailed, focusing on specific outcome rather than a broader or vague goal. And this makes it easier to understand exactly what needs to be achieved. And it has to be measurable. There should be criteria or metrics to assess progress and determine when the objective has been met, and this could include quantitative data like number of percentage to track success. And then it has to also be achievable, and the goal should be realistic and achievable within the given constraints such as resources, knowledge, or time. And as you can see, others have already done it successfully, suggesting that objective is feasible based on existing evidence or example. And it has to be, obviously, it has to be realistic. Objectives should be practical, taking into account the capabilities and limitation of the team or organization. And there's no point in starting a job you know you can't finish, or emphasizing the importance of setting goal within reach. And it has to be finally time bound. Each objective should have a deadline or a time frame, providing a sense of urgency and helping to prioritize tasks. And this ensures that objectives are not open-ended and encourage timely of completion as well. So this framework, the SMART or SMART framework, ensures that objectives are well defined, actionable, and trackable, increasing the likelihood of success execution. So using SMART criteria helps teams set realistic goals that are aligned with organizational priorities and resources as well. Now let's take a high-level OKR cycle. As you can see, the OKR cycle was aligned with a long-term mission which provide high-level direct for organization. This mission can span years or even by an ongoing goal that organization continuously work towards. And these missions act as a guidance star, helping teams ensure their OKRs contributes to larger vision. And then we also have collaborative OKR creation. The process of creation OKR is collaborative in nature, with teams coming together to define the objective and key results that align with the organization mission and goal. So collaboration ensures the OKRs are meaningful and that these are buy-in from team members, making it more likely that the key will work towards achieving this goal. And it has to be also quarterly. So most organizations set OKRs on quarterly basis, allowing for regular reevaluation and adjustment. And the quarterly cadence keeps the team focused on short-term achievement that build towards long and term and success as well. And we also have to get some check-ins, and regular check-ins in weekly or bi-weekly throughout the quarter are essential for tracking progress and addressing roadblocks and making making adjustment if needed. This keeps the team engaged and accountable. So OKRs also must be reviewed. At the end of the quarter, a review takes place to evaluate whether the key results were achieved and if objectives were met. And this review allows the team to measure success, assess the importance of their effort, and gain insight for future OKRs. And we also have to do OKR retro. Very importantly, following the review, OKR retrospective helps the team reflect on what went well and what could be implemented or improved. It's an opportunity for team to learn from previous cycle and mark adjustment to ensure the next one. So the major question here is, the big question here is, did we achieve value and are we satisfied with that? So this question helps teams focus on not just completing tasks but on delivering real value. It encourages reflecting on whether the outcome had been and had the desired impact and met the team's organization's expectation as well. Now, what do effective OKRs look like? Let's take a look. Effective OKRs have key attributes of grant objectives. So they are aspiration. Effective objectives are ambitious and motivation, creating a strong desire within the team to achieve success. They are bold yet attainable. So great objectives are challenging and push boundaries, yet they remain realistic and achievable. They should stretch the team but not feel impossible to reach. And they should be outcome focused. Objectives should be oriented towards achievable better future state, representing a meaningful improvement or change. They are about achieving result rather than just completing tasks. And it also has to be aligned. Effective great objective has to be aligned. And then finally, it has to be clear. So objective must align with broader goals and mission of the organization, ensuring that they contribute to relevant priority and support the overall strategy. And clear, effective objective is easily understood and leave little room for ambiguity as well. So this attribute helps define objectives that are not only achievable but also meaningful and impactful. Now let's take a look at attributes of effective key result. So effective key result has to be specific. Great key results should be clear and unambiguous. They are not open to interpretations. Everyone should understand and exactly what is being measured. Specifically helps in setting precise expectation and reduce confusion about the target. And it should be quantifiable. Key result needs to be measurable, often within the numbers or percentage. And quantify a key result, clarify the intended progress and allow teams to track success objectively. For example, increase customer satisfaction score by 15% is quantifiable, while improve customer satisfaction alone is not. So it has to also be easily verifiable. We should be able to we should be simple to verify. When they are clear and objective, they avoid subjective discussion or dispute about whether they have been achieved. And it should also be able to be stretching yet achievable. So top OKRs, top key results should represent real outcome rather than tasks or to-dos. They focus on the effect or impact and not just action taken. For example, instead of launch a new product feature, a key result could be achieve 5,000 active users for the new feature within 3 months. And then it also has to be stretching yet achievable. As I said, key results should be challenging enough to push the team but not so difficult that they become demotivating as well. So these are some attributes of effective key results. Now let's take a look at an OKR or train flow. I like to be linear, so we have to brainstorm some objective. Start by generating potential objective that align with organizational goal, and then once we are done with brainstorm, we have to prioritize an objective, choose the most impactful objective to focus on first. And then we also have to Assess objective quality. Check if the objective meets the criteria for a good objective. Aspiring, bold, outcome focus, align and clear. If not, refine it. And then we also have to refine it, as I said, and apply so what. So what? Test, ask so what to ensure the objective is meaningful and relevant, and if it doesn't pass, refine it further. And then we also have to make sure we add some key results, maybe 3 to 5. Define 3 to 5 key results that will measure the success of the objective. And then we will have to make sure evaluate key results, verify that each key result meet criteria, specific, measurable, variable, result oriented and challenging yet achievable. And then we refine it if needed. And then we have to then pretty much confirm completion, ask if all key results were complete, and would the objective also be complete. If yes, the OKRs were structured. If not, refine the key result again. And then we do this and repeat for the next priority objective, and repeat this process for additional objective, and ideally keeping to a maximum of 5 OKRs for focus and manageability. And this flow ensures OKRs are purposeful, well-defined, and aligned with broader goals as well. And even if an objective is beautifully crafted, asking so what checks if it's really relevant. So this is very helpful. So that's it for today's video on how to craft effective OKRs and how you can use OKRs to be able to amplify your team to the next level. If you find this video helpful, make sure you like it and subscribe and share with your colleague that will benefit from this as well. And see you in the next one.